map. So someone, and you haven't totally decided who, because either team could have picked Ascent, but someone is saying that they're comfortable and confident on one of these maps, or one for each, to decide the last chance qualifier here.
Once again, this is the last chance qualifier in NACE Star League. Boise State versus Concordia St. Paul. And we're just having a little bit of a delay to get the stream delay in there. You know, the good old-fashioned classic Riot stream delay. You know, we got to talk for about 3 minutes up here. It started with League, now it's going into Valorant. I mistakenly thought it was a break. But in the end, whether we go to break or not, all comes together in the end.
Yep, so these games are live and going straight to you. There's the Concordia St. Paul Golden Bears, not just any bear, the Golden Bears at CU. And they're going to be fighting for this spot. This last chance qualifier gets them into the main bracket that Seat 1 was immediately, got the fast invite to for making first place, and that was Oklahoma Christian.
And, of course, in Valorant, if any of these teams want to make it out of this last chance qualifier, then they're going to have to follow Doc's keys to the game. And in Valorant, that's going to be to focus angles and flank, know your win condition, count cards and call abilities, and, of course, click heads. It's all brought to you by Drop In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. And now, do you have anything that you would want to add to that, considering the stage that we are going to Ascent? It's a stage that's been studied to death. Everyone knows the strategies on this. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think that's it. When everybody knows the strategies, you've got to know your team, because that's the only thing you know that the other person doesn't, right? I mean, knowing how Boise State operates is really something that hopefully only Boise State understands. If one person tries to go off and take it, take the whole ride home, it's not really going to work. So I just want to see really good synergy of utility, because that makes all your utilities so much better than the sum of its parts. Really good angle control, right? Focus angles and flank, understanding where your position on the board is, beneficial to every other member in the group. It really is just about keeping the mics hot and a lot of communication and cooperation.
I do think that is one thing that has kind of plagued Boise State from time to time, is just when you fall behind a couple of rounds, the communication starts to dip a little, or the coordination. And I think the main thing we got to be looking for here is Boise State consistently throughout the season so far today. They're very good at opening up rounds, but it's just closing rounds that they've struggled in. We've seen multiple times they're up 4-2, they're up 5-2, and still the other team wins because Boise State just isn't, taking those 2-on-1s. They're just kind of taking a 1-on-1, 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 and the other team keeps winning.
Yeah, Boise State definitely has a thirst for intensity. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we saw a crazy match that decided that we got into the LCQ. Which started off with a bang start. I mean, like 2 aces in the first 3 rounds, which turned around the typical call of the Creds, if you remember those. And then a lull in the middle, and then a huge fight for the end again. I mean, when stakes are high and things are feeling fresh, Boise State does well. But it's like keeping cooperative and communicative in the lull of the game that is important as well.
Yeah, it's really uncommon that we see 2 aces in just one broadcast, but that was indeed the case for Boise State a little bit earlier. Of course, that was on a very different stage, Haven, and Boise State was able to get a lot of those aces for kind of some unexpected angles here. And if you're on Ascent and you're getting off guard by unexpected angles, then there's obviously a problem, because you should know where to look automatically.
That's true. There's a lot less angles going on in Ascent, so I'd love to see that kind of unexpected factor be pulled out so that we don't have just a back and forth, king-pawn game here.
And once again, another view of Ascent, a stage that's changed very little, all things considered, throughout its tenure in Valorant.
That's very true. We have seen a lot of stages go through some serious changes, whether that's be opening hallways, shutting doors, pulling curtains down here and there to prevent little cheese spots. But this one's been fairly consistent since, well, the tutorial and the beta.
I mean, yeah, it is basically, it's a little part of it, but it is the first stage you are introduced to. So everyone has kind of a little bit of an attachment to this stage, and there's plenty of room for basically any gun strategy you have. You have this wide open mid area where people have fallen victim to the op many of times. Of course, if you don't want to go op and a machine gun is kind of more of your style, then you got Fish Market right here with the classic wallbane spot. It's just a little bit of everything in this stage.
Yeah, and I mean, you can cross op as well, starting with the B short there and deciding to go offensive with it from the offense side or defense with it from the other side. So we are getting informed there's a little bit of a technical pause as we're moving into this. So we'll just keep talking about what we love.
What we love. What I would really love to see would be to see the new agent brought into the mix. I want to see Gecko.
That would be fun.
It seems he's stolen everyone's hearts with not him specifically, but his assistants, let's just say, have stolen everyone's hearts.
Yeah, a good one always to see new agents be pulled fast and onto the map. I'm not sure if we'll get to see that today. Hopefully we play a very steadfast game, but I'd love to see some big gimmicky pulls that get us somewhere, like pulling out a fresh agent.
I mean, if we do go on to Pearl, then I've just got to say thematically that's what we got to do because, we've got a giant fish going around on the field too. So I want to see that Char. One thing to keep in mind, though, about about Thrash, which is Gecko's ultimate, is you got to remember that thing, it goes toward the enemy, but it doesn't check angles. And we have seen times where some teams go in, Thrash goes a certain way, and you think, oh, all the angles are checked, and they go in and someone's hiding. You have to remember that it's not like Seekers where it'll just go toward, it'll check all the angles, automatically for you.
Yeah, a tough thing that, people have been caught with the Seekers before because it's kind of a Pac-Man system where once you understand them, you can then reshuffle around after it's been sent, and you can catch some off-guard stuff, but not such with our fishy friend.
Another aquatic-themed ultimate, I have to say. We've got jellyfish, now regular fish.
Yep.
So I wonder what's next. Do we have a whale ultimate? I don't even know how that would be brought into the mix.
If it was going to be there, it would have been Harbor. I think we missed our chance with that one. He deserved a nice big whale ultimate to just fall on like an orbital strike. But Pearl itself is a gorgeous map, and I don't think we've seen very much action, if at all, from Boise State on Pearl. So I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Pearl is one of those interesting ones. Kind of has a lot of options in terms of mid. It's got that very long B push where, that's where normally ops and snipers can hide out if they're going and setting up a position in hall. And we also see, kind of in those sort of situations, we've seen agents like Astra be very viable picks on that. And that also just goes to just the general stages here, too. I mean, sometimes we see Astra on Ascent, but it's not the most common pick, but she can be useful. I mean, having that wall and ability to split up any point whatsoever, no questions asked.
It's just a smaller map, and it's already a little bit more, down to earth and to connected and maze-like. I mean, she's more of a must-pick in places where you need that Viper wall every round. More iceboxy. We could imagine that wall being massive, though she's not really picked there. Or Breeze, but she's not really picked there either.
And we know for sure we're not going to be seeing Breeze.
No, it's true. Yeah.
So not a lot of people complaining about that, though, whatsoever. There are a lot of people who ended up missing Split, but I'm not really seeing a lot of wanting and waiting for Breeze to come back.
No, but Breeze, I think, and even Icebox. I mean, it's definitely a comfort pick for some people, but Breeze and Icebox have never really hit my fancy quite right. I am sad to see Split go for the time being, but, you win some and you lose some. We do have Fracture on board, and we will be running Fracture today. How are you feeling about that one?
Boise State, oh, man, their record on Fracture, sometimes a little spotty. I mean, if I remember correctly, they were in the CECC West Regionals. They went up on Fracture, and all of those games were extremely close. I mean, that's the thing, is I can't really say that Boise State has like a stage that is just their go-to comfort pick or something that they have a very impressive win-loss record on. A lot of the games that we've seen from the Broncos have been very close, overtime, multiple overtime type games. We're going to have a chance to load in and see what both these teams have picked. Obviously, a KO is on the board for both teams. Boise State going to be attacking first. They're already down 2-3.
Yeah, it's an incredibly fast-paced round so far, starting right off. Boise State does have the chance to make it into a free site here, however. Making their rounds.
Cover going out.
Typical shot firing, just trying to keep the masses at bay, shut the door. Everyone paces their way in. Boise State only has a few seconds to set up camp and defend the site for point 1, and arguably the deciding factors of point 2. Concordia St. Paul being deliberate on the step as they can already see this fight, finding all off the wing, making Big Dime really have to struggle for himself. He's going to find one before going down. Sweet Cheeks with the ghost. wins it by gun difference there.
Very least, Boise State will get the slight credit bonus for having planted the spike, but it's going to be Concordia St. Paul moving on into second round with the choice of they want to buy 4 guns, and I've already seen some Bulldogs. Actually, both teams going up to buy guns here. Boise State not kind of going for that traditional save into round 3.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to push it up, and we've seen some interesting things happening. Rasping early at the second round.
And I think we just saw the biggest prize of all. If I'm not mistaken, I saw a Vandal with that Astra, so any sort of pick that you can get onto her, and Boise State's going to have to deal with this Ares right off the bat, trying to just push damage through and wallbang. Sky's just going to be out forward, close the door, and pick up Sweet. Off to the side, though, it's a trade 1-for-1. Is able to take out Skies. Oldham has Boise State's back, though, brings it back to a 4-on-3, and an open place to plant.
Yeah, the mud is entirely open, so Big Dime's going to take the corner, and Concordia is finally regrouped. They have each other in the site, so they've created good cross angles to sweep into the site. Corner to everyone in the mud. Now, the Rats meet the Cats. Stand their ground and keep point 2. They have put so much money into grabbing. All he's going to catch one by surprise and immediately moves up to the utility to sweep out some extra area. He's forcing them back, and so is the KJ utility off the side. J-Bag guarding that. As the slopes go down, bullet fury. All goes in chasing and hunting down. A good reply by J-Bag to follow in his teammate. Make sure that becomes a 2-on-1, and they take it. Boise State to upset the numbers already and carry some guns into round 3.
No, this really is the bonus round that never was as far as Concordia St. Paul is concerned. Boise State got a ton of value off of that, only going down 2, and a whole lot of more valuable guns picked up. You can see Boise State already, I think they have 1 Phantom, 1 AR is on the table. They also picked up the Ares that Concordia St. Paul had purchased, so a nice little turnaround, kind of breaking from the traditional 2-1 opening that we normally see.
Yeah. And Boise State right now is playing very hot. They're playing very fast. And what I mean by that is there's some gimmicks you can play with timing to try to catch your opponent off guard. And obviously that either means playing ahead of schedule or behind schedule to catch them off guard. So things like throwing out that search arrow, that info dart that comes from the Sova, you want to wait for that yellow wave to check your area before moving into that area. If you move beforehand, it's a little dangerous to yourself, and it seems like a waste of utility, but what it does is it catches the opponent completely off guard. And we see these fast-paced gimmicks of them, like the Omen hunting down people as soon as they turn the corner, or that Sova Recon Dart little gimmick. They're just playing really high pace here.
Oh, he looks thrown away, however, and a classic is going to take out Skies, and Skies drops an AR on top of that.
One enemy
Huge
remaining.
win from Concordia St. Paul, but J-Bag is going to make sure that the bleeding is stopped. And Ares around the corner to try to take out this Jet, not going to work. But J-Bag gets the win.
J-Bag does cover it, but all he can walk out with is going to be a Spectre and a beautiful Sheriff. A little bit down on the cred situation. They are going to get some ARs happening in the mix all around.
Oh,
Look
my
at that,
goodness.
though. See,
yeah.
that's just the... You might have good-ish creds, but you just cannot compete with the third round op.
Yeah, that's really going to demand Boise State be very disciplined in how they peek out. It's all a question of where necessarily Concordia St. Paul decides to set up with it. We're ready to start into the first. We already hear an op shot be run out, so Boise State is now alert to the fact that the opposing team has it.
Yeah, what a threatening call. Boise State still playing on the grass, moving in with a 3 split as they hold a B-side in mid position.
Baking!
Oh, wow. Look at that 2v2 taking 2 right off the bat and clearing out the site. They can now set up camp fast, making sure that Concordia St. Paul, as they wait for that long rotate over. And look, still leaving one in mid in case there's a kind of flank situation. They can catch one by surprise. It's not going to be there, though. So go ahead and get back into the game.
I'm also most concerned about how Heaven is smoked off, because that is where the Opera is set up. It is a challenging angle to try to get set up, but if Boise State doesn't position themselves well, they're really going to be into a 1-agent differential between these two teams. Sweet Cheeks is able to take out J-Bag. Big Dime answers that back and catches him in the tailwind. The Opper is down. And one last to get a team ace. Boise State will say, thank you, I'll take that.
So replay worthy as Rariana made the switch from taking one by surprise to finding a dink on the fall. Look at him. Rariana on the hunt, almost destroyed that team ace with this two-piece.
Yeah, this Jitty was not expecting that whatsoever. That was a very well-played flank by Rariana. Boise State now goes up 2, has a huge credit swing over towards them. This is going to have to be another save from Concordia State, Paul.
After a brilliant start by Boise State.
You give the opportunity, I would say kind of Skies, because, you know, Jet is the traditional opper.
That's very true.
But Skies isn't necessarily looking in a place that I would expect you to op with.
They could be trying to catch a cheese. Yeah, they definitely might be here. They might just get it. Ooh, the slow shuffle. He's on top of it. Does not flinch. Does not flinch.
Nope.
Old CSGO tricks of tossing your pistol across the sight line. Not going to work. Skies only takes the shot when he knows it's his. Very ready for this Killjoy utility angle, though he doesn't have to be worried about the turret down as Killjoy is out of the mix. B becomes very weak. Usually you only put KJ a place that you want a little bit underguarded as far as numbers go, just because utility does so much of the carrying. So after that quick op, it's so easy to just flood that side of the stage. So Boise State makes their rounds and gives up some space on A site to Concordia.
And Concordia isn't taking one single sideline, so this is a wide open door for Boise State to plant. Plant is going to go through. It's over to Damio and J-Bag. Watch where you step. It's a 1-for-1 trade in mid-market. Yeah. Now it's even 3 apiece.
Holding up that great gimmicky position, though, what appeared on his screen is free info for the rest of the team. I mean, they can just pose up knowing where people are coming from now.
Talking about posing up, you got to think about Skies in Boathouse right now. He has shown himself very disciplined on the opposite floor. It's not going to be phased out by that Prowler. Possible peek again. Another shot goes through. Nightfall. Boise State is not afraid, however. Chifu is taken down. He might be a little bit afraid now as Rariana has to keep this spike, but just going to throw out the molly. Has a lot of util, though, with the KJ. This is what she's meant to do.
Nice.
Stall you out.
Deliberately.
Gets the exit frag. Brilliant. I don't know if he can get away. Just barely, yes.
Nice. What a good play there. I mean, and they had a beautiful bait and switch cross angle, which got them a free kill and got some damage off. Because after that op missed the shot and had to move back, Omen was able to execute excellently, which set up Rariana for a 1v1 instead of v2. And then just look at this great control as he leaves, like, dumps his entire kit on one side and slowly strafes around. He's comfortable with the clock and punishes Synthetic for sitting down too early, getting the control. Ready for a fast-paced play onto the A site, using up early utility to try to cut any gimmicky plays here. Does get knifed though, so they'll down. But they're okay to play into the skies to find one. Synthetic already checking the angles, delivers sneaky.
We were talking about CSGO earlier. We are for sure playing it now that Command Null is out from Boise State. They're going to be charging the point. Kira and Chifu both hanging out on Heaven. Goes down. Damio taking a bit of damage here and there. It's not going to be too much. Some wallbanes being attempted to the floor. Jitty is really determined to op right now. He has bought another one.
Last player
standing. The op and did not find a way out of a J-Bag to go down. Kira
remaining.
Oh, that is great. Sees the barrel right through the smoke. And Oldham knows that he can move backward here. As long as he knows where the spike is.
Oh, look at this noise suppression, giving him the upper hand. All he has to do is dip straight across and take an easy shot. That was an ult that may have hurt her. She lost all information, noise, and vision. So that's another point for Boise State, bringing them up to a double score, 4v2.
That was so beautiful. Just sees the barrel and immediately flicks over to take out Jitty. That's probably the one thing about the op is once you get close quarters with the smoke, how long that gun isn't working out in your favor.
No. Defenders won that one.
Oh,
defuse
it
just in time.
barely. Okay, we were. I was thinking the score was a little.
Yeah, that didn't seem right. Fraction.
I mean,
defuse
it
by
is
Kira.
a win, but it is a win with very messed up econ is the
Yeah.
one thing. So
you're kind of giving up some future potential. Hopefully, they can capitalize on that.
I mean,
But
I don't think Damio should be ashamed in any way
no,
of how he
definitely
played
not.
that.
That was a good execution. Had me fooled.
And more importantly, he was able to get the op back in Boise State's hands. Now Damio's going to be moving up through mid-market. See anyone, and a knife right to the head is taking out Damio. Boise State is now on notice that there is a jet out on the hunt. They're going to move forward, try to take a peek into Boathouse. J-Bag dislodges one. Shifu trades it back onto J-Bag. Waiting for the peek around to see the knives and misses. Boise State Oldham is going to go for the plant. He gets it.
It's at least with the Freds, but now defending that's going to be so difficult when his team is split. All of them to stay alive is going to be difficult. And from above, GD with the shorty, absolute MB.
I don't know about this play necessarily.
Oh, look at that,
well,
Skies.
you proved me wrong.
And that is why you pin the spike. Always pin the spike. This guy's looking to play these walls here. Oh, defenders take it though. He was already in the half.
Enemy remaining.
I mean, Boise
gunplay
State
is
is like, they've consistently shown they're winning the team fights. It's just some very clutch sticks by Concordia St. Paul is putting them just now within one round of it being tied up again.
Yeah, Boise State's only been caught on the timing here. I mean, their delivery with the angle checks have been good, and they're taking gunfights, whether that's 1-on-3 or 3-on-3 has been excellent. Goodness. Yeah, a tighter game than I would have expected. Boise State now looking at a 4-3.
Get out of my way!
Let's see what Skies can do with his own knives. Concordia St. Paul, to win those last 2 rounds, have spent all but one of their ultimates. Skies moving tentatively up through mid-market. Uses smoke to try to move in. Should have seen just a little bit of yellow from Sweet Cheeks, but Chifu is also holding the angle, and Skies goes down. Rakira is next with the Bulldog. Ariana doing some nice deduction. Takes out Chifu. Boise State still has it within their possibility. They got to get through a whole bunch of KJ util is the one problem. And even more so now. I mean, that lockdown is going down, and Boise State, I think that's going to put an end to their dreams on B.
It definitely should. They could pull something funny if they wanted to, but sure enough, no, it looks like they might consider A. Wow, the mics are hot, and the turnaround is there as the Killjoy finds nobody and goes down before the full switch has been made synthetic, looking to be decisive here. Ooh, the 2v1 swing goes undetermined. But Sweet Cheeks to find Aldum. Big Daimyo looking to cut some people off in the back on the retreat here. They're
30 seconds left.
Walking slow, trying to find long angles. Daimyo running out of time. Has one to peek, finds one.
Cover going out.
Brought it back to within one. The Astra is moving in. They're not looking the right way. Rariana still keeping it alive and has just enough time to move over towards A and plant.
10 seconds left.
Oh, wow.
Set up the turret, close the door.
Found
Get that spike down because you have barely enough time.
Yeah, Plant's center stage, and what's the deal here? He's used nearly his whole kit. He could drop a lockdown if he thought he could protect it, but goodness, so close here.
This has the crosshair placement lined up. It's now down to one apiece.
He can play for time here if he wants. Brianna, a little bit of back and forth, just peppering damage. Good seasoning of the situation.
Synthetic, though, drops down. He's not expecting that, and we are tied up again, 4 apiece.
And they have all been by defused, haven't they?
They all have. Boise State has. And in that one, too, I mean, you had one of them forced onto a Guardian, another a Bulldog, so it's not a full Thrifty, but it is a huge win for Concordia St. Paul nonetheless. The Golden Bears now making it so that Boise State, the best they could hope for, or either team could hope for, would be an 8-4. Despite that win, Concordia St. Paul still hasn't gone on to a full purchase.
Now Boise State with Vandals down the line, save for Ariana, playing his favorite Phantom with the skin.
Shields are going to be a lot lighter on Concordia St. Paul's side. Boise State seems to be lining up for a very fast B push. Moving in, closing the door immediately. Skies going to be moving towards Sweet Cheeks, who has him and takes him out with a headshot.
Man, and that close on the Guardian is just unreal. All of them trying to play out his footsteps. footsteps.
Spike
He's moved
down,
down.
B.
Gotta be careful there. People finally stable mud. Playing around Shiny is able to pinch
Last
another
player
player.
standing.
That's all of them to find one, but Big Daimyo going down. A CSP4 Kira.
And the spike is down as well.
And the spike. Looking to just take some space a ways away. Gonna drop the owl as he's laser close in front. Decides to play up after that. Oh, has the shell, but still can't find it. They shot through.
A whole lot of rounds that Boise State was just kind of expecting to win have been moving over slowly toward the Golden Bears, who now find themselves in the lead. Boise State has just barely managed to go through all of their ultimates, but already that Astral is back online, and how well Sweet Cheeks has been playing, I have to think that that lockdown is also very close to being recharged as well. Ready to head into round 10. We'll see if Boise State can even things up.
Tell you what, if we're up, attack B just following the
Sweet
footsteps.
Cheeks is just holding down B mercilessly.
This guy's doing well to hold his ground. Line one. Sustains a bit of fire, but gets out of the way of market doors.
More importantly, Boise State is able to get the res onto the KO. Rariana holding on this lockdown. Can be waiting to place it at just the right time, trying to get as many seconds as possible as he can out of that. And there it goes.
DJ to go down, and it looks like they may consider playing forward. Nice little name shot. Disrupting Rariana and Big Daimyo's position, but never enough. KJ detains 0. And the spike has been down the whole time. It's looking good, but now Concordia St. Paul has kind of cornered them and is looking for exit frags as they try to make it out the back door here. Boise State wants to keep those. Reds wants to keep.
Oh, they have to go down a very dangerous corridor. They are able to take out the Opper. Question is Synthetic going to be able to pick up that Op and run away? Still overall is a good round for Boise State to bring things back. Yeah, they were able to pick up the Op. So, very heavily favored off strategy for Golden Bears. See just how well the Broncos can do. As we're just about ready to head into the second half, we have 2 rounds left before that happens. And this was the escape route I would never want to run down in a million years. You got 2 people hanging out back there, one with an op.
No, it's scary seeing that on the minimap.
Guys wasting no time moving up to claim ground, moves all the way up to Garden. On Heaven, but Skies has his number, takes him out. That's a huge win. Synthetic once again. Kind of in a role of op picker-upper at this point. Does not want to let that fall into the hands of the Broncos.
No, Skies could die happy now. That was his hunt. That was his destiny right there. He went barreling down, beelining for that position. He could have pinned it from the gate goes up on the buy round, honestly. What a successful sabotage of the op player here. They checked the corner, but it's a blind check. It's a casual check. They checked it out of muscle memory, but their eyes were closed. Alden takes a 2-piece. With no, they've got nothing to go for. Big Daimyo from the distance going to go down to Kira. Skies looking
1
to defend.
enemy remaining.
Right underneath the op, attackers take it. Rariana from a distance covers on Synthetic. Boise State now up
before the
6
switch.
point, covering their half.
I have to wonder with how close Concordia St. Paul has been shaving it on a lot of these rounds if they will be able to full buy for this one. I also like this here. This just shows those great player instincts. Is you run out of bullets on your first, you recognize you need to swap over to the classic. Just one click to do it.
Yep.
Not always the easiest thing to remember when you're in the heat of the battle, but these players aren't going to forget that one. Cauldron slowly going out through the smoke.
And Daimyo learning his lesson after TPing across early is going to try to get rid of that. He's aiming for that next one.
Stay down.
Ooh, high pace as ever. A tribute. Cover the skies. Sorry, Jeff style.
Oh my goodness, it's going for an Odin spray from long range.
Spike down A.
I didn't know he liked to party like this.
Oh, yeah. Sova players on this map love playing through the B wall and right down A main.
But even then, Boise State hasn't
One
put
enemy
the spike
remaining.
down. Probably realized that they can get it a little bit easier right now through just eliminations. This plant's going to go down.
Spike planted.
It's going to draw one from Concordia St. Paul over.
Can't use
Try
that.
a long flank. The abilities here are that good. The door is going to be damaged. Boise State aware to that, but I think the crucial deciding factor here is they've got that Hunter's Fury in their pocket.
Chifu might just be looking to make some damage, too.
It wouldn't even have made a difference because it is the half, so that wouldn't have carried over. Boise
Switching
State had
sides.
insurance and insurance on top of that insurance with the Hunter's Fury. Now they're going to be moving into the second half up to 7-5. See which team gets off to the quicker start.
Yeah, I mean, think if Boise State can take the typical first two, give up the bonus, they'll be looking at a 9-6, which means that they'll be pushing into double digits.
I'm still shocked that this
No, this was wild.
spray, this spray and pray, he lands a headshot. The Odin gods are smiling down upon him.
And then as he's being loud and he's running around in mid, Knives sneak around the corner with an angle advantage, and he has to ramp up the Odin. He finds it anyways. That was a good kill against the Skies, who had been, sorry, against the Jet, who had been torturing people the rest of the game. Oriana a bit in the dark. He's going to move out of that utility and reposition. Concordia. St. Paul not sure if they want to push up this B or not. They're very split and rotating in strange ways.
Big Daniel has already taken a whole lot of damage, down to 13 health.
But so has a KO on the other side.
So it all kind of evens out. Concordia St. Paul, they've also, the rest of their players also have a few dinks. Their Jet's down to half health.
Yeah, it's Little Pepper here and there, not looking great for them. Maybe that's why they decided to rotate around and try some different avenues. Big Dynamo looking to shut things down. He can take video out with an up-close ghost. He'd love to. This is the pacing here. See him back up a little bit as he knows he's only got 30.
Not going to be too gung-ho about it. They move past him, though.
following
He has the
in.
flank on them, takes out Shifu, but that's all he's going to get.
We'll take a 1-for-1 when defense is a little bit low. Boise State waiting for a few more to move in. Roriana, though, unreal.
30 seconds left.
Loads the clip. Another one. He's flying.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, what? And J-back from the side to save Roriana from an awkward encounter where he has to find a reload after some classic alt fires onto the main aggressor. An incredible pinch, a beautiful crossfire, and a close out the round with Rariana safe in hands. Look at this play.
And I think this definitely shows why KJ is such a pain to deal with on Ascent in these pistol rounds. She's got so many effects that can just whittle away your health little by little. And Concordia St. Paul was not able to go into B-side with any sort of even health. They were all dinked here, dinked there, and when everything is down to those pistols, 30 damage here, 30 damage there can be the deciding factor. Some early spray with the Ares. This guy goes toward B, takes a shot with the Sheriff and moves back.
Just extra offense noises as he throws a couple Sheriff shots and skitters away Concordia. Have to kind of separate, and now they're reaching back on the cat again, looking to do but it's a brick wall. Skies letting him go nowhere. They do shade him off, though, and he's got to play on defense. Finds three in a row.
What is that?
Spike down.
Could it be the Sheriff up close ace? No, that shut down Big Daimyo.
I mean, at that point, though, you don't want to get too comfortable with just a Sheriff because, I mean, sure, it can only fire one bullet at a time. It's no automatic fire, but if you line yourself up, it'll sure be happy to pick up a collateral.
Wow, and the games he was playing, just whittling away these bullets as he shot, backed up, all came to one big tease. He finds one in the shoulder, collaterals again on the other shoulder, dinks one in midair, and gets the other one blinded. And then Daimyo to come around and just guardian to the skull to finish it off.
What an insane round, and Boise State now up to 9-5, like you were saying, a very favorable stat line for them. Skies has decided to buy the op, and it pays off beautifully for him. He's able to take out Jitty. He's going to move back on the sideline just a little, make Concordia St. Paul think a bit before they try to push B or abandon it entirely and try their luck in mid.
Ooh. Yeah, see that making the first round meaning that you win one then lose one is based off of that you decide to keep what you have, deciding to bonus. But when they play up with these ops like this, they can get tricky, and Boise State might find the double digits before Concordia crosses the path. Whoa! Daimyo going crazy with these Guardian. I've never seen so many Guardians in a game.
Sure working out. Rariana, we'll see what he can do with the Spectre. He's going to find himself blinded up. He moves back to his position. Orkira gets the first pick onto Boise State. J-Bag is the one to fall. Moving slowly towards A, and a nice flick again from Skies. That op, the only gun Boise State bought this round, excuse me, but it seems to be working out for them.
Spike
See if Boise State can
down A.
recover, though, because that op is dropped.
30 seconds left.
Sticking with the Vandal and covering this area. He's the last one alive. Boise State's got 2 to fight this. They're sitting on the spike, though, so WinCon's changing. Chifu stays the attacker here. He tries to move into tree. Big Daimyo covering one angle and all ready to find the bait switch. There it is, and they just can't hold it up. As soon as you showed your face to one, they don't even have to touch the mouse. The other one comes swinging around, and it's a big bait on the crosshair. You've got no good options, and Boise State knew it. Totally checkmating that 10th point right there.
3 for 3 so far in the second half. Boise State seems to be running away with it at this point. And that was a full rifle buy round for Concordia St. Paul, so they're going to have to be forced back onto handguns. One Marshall to try to bring it back. So you got to think if Boise State just wins this next one on guns alone, it goes up to the all-crucial 11. Already, Skies is going to be bringing out the knives. We'll see what he can do with them. Trying for a possible flank onto mid. He's going to find himself smoked out.
Oh, landing straight up the mid, but they've kind of been caught, corralled into an
Spike
area.
down mid.
Give me those back. Boise State
One enemy remaining.
What a hunt! Big Time to find these 2, all to find 2 Skies. Just got left with 1 on the ult. That was absolutely ridiculous. It looked like sheep herding. I mean, Concordia St. Paul was making straight headway progress right into the middle, and then Boise State just shut them down by getting a good rotation out. We're going to see a little bit of a timeout coming in from Concordia St. Paul. Golden Bears to try to deal with this big lead that Boise State has found. I mean, they were nice and even around 4-4, 5-5, and then a charge. Boise State has made like near 5-6 consecutive points.
And they're going to have to walk it on a tightrope of econ. I mean, considering that last round was a save, they've only got 2 rounds kind of left to play with before Boise State hits 13. And that means that, you know, it's probably going to be one crucial round to try to turn it all back. They got to decide if they want to do it this round or if they leave it possibly for the match point, and then from there on out they'd have to be perfect going forward.
Yeah, doing it for the match point means that you have no save rounds left. So all of the strategies that require a save round are out the window, right? It's kind of down to this right now. I could expect a really big push now, and if whatever strategy they're thinking up right now works, then they can play this game of, all right, we've got 1 mistake left in the pocket, and we can play a casual round if we need to get things back together if we ever have a very, very tough or very, very close win. But Boise State now has, you know, the chance to totally crush that out. If they can find 2 consecutive rounds, it does not look good for Concordia.
Well, the timeout should be just about finished now, and only lasts a minute, so we'll see if whatever their coach said to them or whatever they said amongst themselves, if that is going to be able to reset everything. State throwing out a whole lot of smokes on toward B. One from Concordia St. Paul peeled off. Peeking through A main. He's going to have to go up against J-Bag in left guard.
Rariana making some intimidation
Spike
fire.
down
Checking
B.
the smoke around both angles. That you could be peeking that Skies. Take a fast one right down mid onto the B entry. Kind of scare Concordia away from this B site. So much intimidation fire. As they make a rotation around, the Boise State has taken their chance not to regroup in the spawn, but to actually push up and take some forward lines. So Concordia is going to have a rough time pushing anywhere at all, really. But look at this nice static position Boise State has. Just holding their ground. Skies unwavered by that knife.
Not care about being suppressed is not going to be baited out by a jump peek. He gets a pick.
On the heat of the battle.
Should run.
Knockdown's going to head out from Concordia St. Paul, but there's a huge section on Heaven that is just
30
free for
seconds
Boise
left.
State, so this doesn't affect them too much, besides only the fact that one of them has left. That's not going to matter if they just take him out.
I was going to say it's free, but it's also open. But they're not even worried. So much so on the other side that they could just play through whatever they saw. Boise State taking point 12. Concordia, this is their last big chance, their last shot before the game comes down to fracture for them.
And we haven't really seen any situation here where Skies has been baited out by any sort of jiggle peek, any sort of jump peek. He's been very disciplined on that op. It is showing in spades. And now there's just one more round left before Boise State takes this, puts themselves in match point overall for the series. They're in game point right now, but match point for the best of 3. Top shot rings out. Another one picked up. The 2 Jets are going to go at it, though.
The Knives is an excellent reply to the op, and the op falls in friendly territory, though. That should be an easy walk out onto the branches to grab. From the blue team, Boise State. Jitty Hill looking to make his way downtown and take it, and he does.
Oh, it
but
was a trap.
Dino was camping on it. He didn't want the op, he wanted the kills, and takes a free frag for it. He's going to be venturing out across the smoke, checking all the typical angles as one tries to cheese up behind it, but look at this 2-for-1. Oh! Checks a little too deep, too fast, and goes down. Daimyo on the reply, but now it's down to a 2v3, and Daimyo is going to look to recover that op while J-Bag is in another match, shutting down any kind of an entry.
1-for-1 is an exchange rate that the Boise State Broncos can't afford to get this final stage. Well, everything from the Astra is going to be going out. A flash through the wall. Boise State's going to make their way down. They see Astra through the smoke, shoot through, and a convincing win, 13-5. Boise State is going to be going into Fracture with their heads held high. Well, ultimately, proud sponsor of Boise State Esports is Drop-In Gaming. That's the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. You can compete to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches, through free and paid tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. So now Boise State starting things off good. It seems like kind of those jitters that we had of will they be able to close it? Not applying at all. That second half was completely theirs.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, after they took that boulder and pushed it over the top of the hill, it just kept rolling down. So we'd love to see that in the next match.
Well, Boise State, we're going to be taking a short break, and then we'll be back with game number 2 of this best of 3, so you're not going to want to go away. We'll be back with more gameplay after this.
Idaho's Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
Magnetizing, there's a guy imploding, leaves my body glowing. They say, be afraid, you're not like the others, futuristic lovers. Different DNA, they don't understand you. You're from a whole other world, a different dimension. You open my eyes, and I'm ready to go, lead me into the light. Kiss me, and fill me with your love. With the poison, take me, wanna be a victim, ready for affection.
Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight you're joining us for a Boise State varsity interview. Tonight we're joined by Marshall Damio Hunter from our Valorant squad. Nice to have you with us. And Boise State had a great fall semester with Boise State Valorant, making it far in the Red Bull campus clutch. What are your goals going forward for spring 2023?
Just play more with the team, get more practice in. I think that we have a lot of untapped potential that we haven't really kicked into yet, especially versus top teams. So I think just being able to get the chance to play versus those top teams and showing up is what I really want to do.
Now, bring us a bit more in depth into what you mean by that untapped potential. Like, if we're watching in a broadcast, what are we going to see, that the team really wants to show us?
I think the team just wants to show everyone that we can compete with the best out there. I mean, we've played against plenty of top 5 teams. We've played against Northwood a couple times, which is the champion from the world event with Red Bull Campus Clutch, and we also played versus San Jose, which was the winner of CVAL West. So we lost to both those teams, and I think just like the team in general wants to show that going up against teams of that caliber, that we lost them close, and we want to show that the work that we've put in, it was able to come out and win this season. All
right, and because I've been asking everyone involved with Valorant as it's just coming out, what are you thinking about Lotus?
Lotus? Oh man. Just another 3-lane map is going to be really nice. I think that a lot of the maps in the game have gimmicks, and some of the sites are kind of weird, and I think Haven plays really well, which is the other 3-lane map in the game. So I think better teams play good on all the 3-lane maps. I think usually the best teams who are more coordinated and everyone who plays better wins on the 3-side map. So it's going to be nice to have those 2 rotations. It'd be cool to have best of 3s where those are the 2 maps that you play off the rip. So.
Alrighty, well, we wish you the best on luck on that and all the other stages and tournaments you'll be competing in this semester. You've been joining us with Damio from Valorant. And if you want to catch the rest of Boise State Valorant, be sure to keep it tuned to Boise State Esports Twitch and YouTube for all the updates going forward. But for now, thank you for watching. Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We are currently in the midst of a last chance qualifier match for NACE Valorant. Boise State is going up against Concordia St. Paul and has secured a victory in the first stage on Ascent. We will now be moving on to Fracture to see if Boise State can close everything out. My name is Jacob Palmer. I'm your host. I am joined by Greg Smith calling all the action. And I understand over the break, Greg, you got a little bit of information from Coach Moore, a Valorant coach, on just kind of everything that's going on with this match, the stakes surrounding it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this match for sure. I mean, the stakes surrounding it is we want to get into the big playoffs for this NACE Collegiate Valorant game. So if we can beat the team that we're playing right now, beat the Golden Bears, then we'll be playing against JMU, which is the only team in this bracket that we've ever fought before, and we don't have a great history with them. We lost 2-3 the last time we played against them, and we did lose in the LCQ1 to get here. So it's a bit of an uphill battle, but we're looking good now, and the match so far has been going well. I mean, if we can take this map on Fracture, then we'll be down to a good rematch and then into fight one last fight to get to the finals.
See if all those VOD reviews Boise State took against that previous team work out to their favor. Right now, we're just about ready to head into the second match of this best of 3 on Fracture. Before we get to it, however, we do want to give just one more shout out to Doc's Keys to the Game, what these players need to remember on how to perform well, and that's going to be to focus angles, flank, know your win condition, count cards and call abilities, and of course, click heads. Doc's Keys the Game brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who wish to seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Now we're going to see what the choices are going into Fracture. Everything was pretty darn standard for Ascent. You know, we still have a choice maybe for Gecko to be chosen, just so I can see those cute, adorable little critters on the side. It probably isn't, though.
Probably isn't. I mean, unfortunately, there's a whole nother dimension to Fracture, right? I mean, Doc says focus angles flank, but now what's a flank? You know,
That's
I
true.
mean, the front door
Oh my
changes.
goodness, you're
yeah.
Are you taking a philosophy class this semester?
Yeah,
Because
what is an angle?
What really is a flank? you
Yeah,
know?
no. I mean, this takes geometry to a whole nother sense. I mean, you only collegiate players are going to play like this. This map is a little bit intense as far as what comfort is. So I'd love to see them pick a roster where not only is each individual comfortable on what they're playing, but they're comfortable knowing that the other agents that have been selected are behind them. It's a gorgeous map, though, and look at this absolute fracture through the land as we have the desert dunes on one side and the equally gorgeous lush gardens on the other. And a zip line, the world's loudest zip line going all right underneath it.
This is true. But sometimes teams can switch it up on that zip line. It really is kind of a guessing game as far as the defensive team, because you have 4 possible ways in which the team can come in, 2 from each point. So things have gotten a little better. You can see here this was the old version of Dish that has since been blocked off. So now there's only one way you can enter from that specific route. So a few changes here and there to make defense's job a little bit more bearable, because when this thing was released, it was a...
Oh my god, Ring Around the Rosie was the name of the game. This is still here. You can still enter that from either side. You can also go upstairs or downstairs from either side. There's the whole doors on the mid portion that you can fly through. So I guess they just wanted to cut out that Dish Ring Around the Rosie as well. The dev's feeling extra cyclical with this Pokeball style stage. And we are going to see the Cypher again. Last time I saw Boise State play on this map, they kind of threw a Cypher into the mix to see how it would work, and Rariana apparently liked it. So he's back to it. Going to be sporting a classic right off the bat to get him that tripwire, which is so critical to the build. And he will be oftentimes on his own with maybe one more defender to watch his back as he uses most of his utility and most of his kit to guard the stage with him. So he's going to plant up in the tower. An important and pivotal position for this Concordia St. Paul will be moving straight into his hands. Getting right into his Jitty and Co. Everybody going straight up the line. Here he is, Rariana getting the show himself. He's going to take one down and pass it around. Big Daimyo is going to have to turn around and enter the fight again, but he's all smoked in.
Tough situation, but ultimately 1-for-1 trade is probably the best scenario you can get. Nice play with the Frenzy is going to take Daimyo up towards tower. He's going to be thrown back by some util, however. Synthetic also on a triple.
Player standing.
Got a quad. Possibility of an opening round ace for the Golden Bears.
It's definitely a possibility. Now being absolutely hunted on utility, a weird way to not get flashed, just step on it. Oh, but he just doesn't want to go up that rope. He doesn't want to see it, not after getting kicked off the back like that. And it's an ace as Synthetic gets aggressive and finds another one. Concordia St. Paul, an just unreal change. And all they changed was the environment. Took an extra little break. Boise State slated for the next 2 points considering a typical round flow. However, we actually haven't seen that at all. Last 2 games, whoever won actually took the next one too.
Boise State has had sort of that more unorthodox strategy of buying up in the second round. That really worked out for them on Ascent. It doesn't look like that's the play this time, however. They're going to go with the classic, just going with all classic here. Wait to purchase ARs next round. They're going to try a sneaky flank, however. They are charging right now. Boards are going to get caught out by the tripwire, however, and the Golden Bears are alerted to the Broncos flank.
Yeah, nothing sneaky about that one as they go flushing out one side with one person to kind of go straight in the center. Sweet Cheeks has to come out of midair. Sky's taking the reply, and Rariana to find one, but it's not looking good otherwise. Sweet Cheeks and Kira each
Last
find
player
one.
standing.
One more Boise State player remains and is shot down in the smoke. A tough round, but it was the save. And looks like they were just looking to make some damage, play fast and dirty, get something that maybe they weren't expecting. But man, one well-placed tripwire from Concordia St. Paul's Cypher is going to shut down that push.
All things considered, I was thinking kind of the second or third frag. It's kind of the borderline for, you know, is it enough credits to take away for them to put a dent in, a sizable enough dent in their bonus. Boise State is going to purchase full rifles. Should be winning this next round if tradition, general patterns are to be believed. Command null, no doubt from that ace that Concordia St. Call got in the first round. Autumn is still going to be able to shut down Jitty.
And beautiful sight lines on a Sweet Cheeks gets him down to half damage, and Daimyo knows exactly what default is. Throwing the Molotov right into the who's going to get a quick glance before trying to move out. It's shut down by Skies on a very fast-paced character. I mean, I talked a while about the Cypher, but the rest of this loadout makes sense. I mean, look at this again with the classic Grim.
One enemy remaining.
Neon, and the Neon on Skies, who's feeling very, very high-paced and very, very fast last round. That's a shutdown. Boise State catching that third round as we expected it.
I'm out of here.
Discussing who deserves the defuse point.
They're going to decide to give it over to Oldham on the KO. Good chance to bring up the scoreboard and see where everyone is in terms of ultimates, because the only one who was really close at all was Concordia St. Paul, because they got the ace in the first round.
And then once you use it, that means no players are, right? Because you got 0 kills to everybody else. So that null is set back to null. Boise State now only to 1 point versus the 2, so looks like we got a lot of Vandals and Phantoms coming out.
Can't say I'm too surprised.
Definitely not a typical loadout. A typical kit so far. They've been playing very, by the book. They're going to play a little bit forward with Skies at the back. They see what's happening, but they're being pinched from both sides. He's got to get down on the other side of the fence. Concordia looking to rotate around as they're being chased. Daimyo can capture the road.
You were talking!
He can!
The world's loudest zipline.
He caught one just a couple pixels thick and drops the spike on the other side of the map. Absolutely brilliant. World's loudest zipline strikes again. Trying to carry the cargo across that one's a scary journey. Now, alone on the B site. Could be going for a plant, but they want to check all their area out first. Synthetic staying the anchor and is going to face off against Oldham here. Oldham was not ready. Synthetic tight on the crosshair, finds a free one.
One enemy remaining. Spike planted.
One left, and Boise State can double peek this. Moving out, swings away, and Daimyo is there to take the double peek. And the round, things are tied up to a piece.
Little close. Good that Daimyo was on the reply for that one and able to play off the contact. Penguin going to be with us as well. But man, shot was just a little bit high from Neon. No jump there.
The Penguin is just a sorry replacement for what we could have seen if someone picked Gecko. I'm sorry, but you're not going to... Ever since I've seen those little animal buddies, everything else is just subpar.
Just doesn't chalk up.
No, it doesn't. It's not the same as your as Wingman diffusing it for you. Now we're going to head into round number 5. That looks concerning. Someone might be wanting to take care of that.
This looks very, very Portal 2-ish. Boise State winning the race on ultimates. Look at that bank. Obviously, the Cypher ultimate is very situational, and they're going to want to use it as soon as they can. Skies playing very forward, could be caught off guard here, checking the angle. Diligently finds the spike, camping in the corner. That's a 1-for-1 that we'll take. Skies goes down. Chifu finds it with the spray. Going to get out of there. Offense shut down. Another one. J-Back playing expertly. A beautiful flash on this one. A little bit of a self-flash there. In and tried to early base it again. Boise State, when they feel good, they pull out a lot of quick pace gimmicks, a lot of timing catches on the front end. J-Bag looking for another one, trying to find that nice Moroccan hat. On Cypher's head, it's not going to be there. Concordia not giving any info away. Synthetic to hide behind the smoke now. As all the posture of the site is rotated to A. Spike has not entered, and J-Bag is already posted up. Gets a couple shots off. It's not going to find him now. Drop that ultimate, try to clear the site. It's working for him. Switching to find Diamond. Rariana caught in the corner. Boise State, 1 player left, and all of them can find it. Chifu with the plant. Needs the corner. All of them looking for one. On the retreat. They're just playing so much groundhog with him.
I mean, I think also that was a case of, though, they were just playing with their food a little bit too much, because that could have very easily have been a full take. Instead, they give up one due to the hesitation.
Yep, yeah, good synchronized watch jump that 3 could have had that, but a whack-a-mole game ensued, and only because of the blind did he not make it out of there alive. And look at this Dylan corner checking to get an early spike drop. Plays a little bit, swings a little bit far and doesn't quite hold it in, but it's a good 1-for-1 trade.
Now things have been evened up pretty substantially as far as the ults are concerned. Overdrive by Boise State, and you know
exactly where.
yeah, the zappy fingers are scary, but a 3-on-1, you're not going to overcome that that math.
Nope, it's just not enough fingers for that. Concordia does have one low health as the robot can shot to death and try to make their streamline onto A proper. Boise State holding strong behind the whirlwinds of sand, being set down by Concordia.
Spike planted.
And Noel charged back up again by their KO. Try to move in for the retake with it.
On the hunt, Concordia ball is kind of
Smoke's down.
shaking down and around.
Oh, there you go. Showstopper. Gets one. And there's still that orbital strike available for any post-plan shenanigans.
Finding another one. That's huge. Ariana to get one very close. It's a catalyst for moving through the door as long as he protects Synthetic. Shows himself away.
Wow.
And Rariana playing excellently here to find Sweet Cheeks hatless. And that's a win from the attackers by Spike going off, but it's looking better for Boise State. Their gameplay's getting a little bit tighter. They found more kills. But 2v4, it doesn't look fantastic. Concordia, plenty of creds to go around. Phantoms for everyone, save for the sticklers in the end, which want to go for the Vandals.
I mean, there are some people you're never going to convince. They're always going Vandal.
No. I just don't have the trigger for it. Synthetic here. Just giving away just a little bit to shoulder.
We'll start out with a little bit of root spell thrown out. Boise State seems to be taking a huge position up here on A. Oh,
Nice one into the flash. The smoke goes down entirely, and Synthetic to find another one. He's so fast. Aldum trying to get the leg up, but it can't happen. Sweet Cheeks finds him. And look at this Daimyo staring down. Oh, staring down three of them. He's going to find one inside the smoke, but unless it's not fair game, finds another. It's a trade. The spike's down. Boise State knows where it's at, but only one player left, and from a distance, Synthetic finds his fourth kill of the
I mean,
round.
the ace to start things out, a quad on this round. He's already got 2 command nulls that he's used this half. Is gonna be moving up on his third. I don't necessarily want to say comfort pick, but it seems someone has practiced their KO on Fracture quite a lot.
Definitely so. It looks like this could be the Concordia pick as far as maps go. And Synthetic, absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure he's playing on a Switch Pro controller.
You got to get those gyro controls in there.
Just so fast.
This could be a very early peak. Oh, Sweet Cheeks gets skies.
And they try their odds a second time. Aldum looking to play the Sheriff up onto that one. It's an all-Sheriff roster so far. The Ion Sheriff in Daimyo's hands looking to hunt things down as well. Catches the coattail of Sweet Cheeks on the escape, but it's not going to be enough to find a kill. Still, a 5-2-3. Oh, Rariana fly spotting. Finds one in midair, but it's not enough. His location is up, and they take him fast. Synthetic taking all the creds for himself as he gets a plant. And Boise State now 2v4 as they're down 2-5 in points.
Considering the type of save round this is, I'd be happy with 2 picks. 3 of them, I'd consider it a pretty good victory.
Right around the
There's
corner, Daimyo
2.
to find one. Unfortunately, J-Back does go down exactly all the get. Sure enough, Sweet Cheeks on the hunt.
Sweet Cheeks also, just look at that low health too. He was right on the edge.
Yeah, so very close, and after that, he could have started baiting him out with little taps on the spike. Not going to happen to Daimyo, flexing his left-handed sword.
This is the main thing, is that this KO needs to be shut down.
Yeah, but Sweet Cheeks is a good backup. I mean, they're both very tight, and it seemed like Boise State was simply better with their gun control. on the first map. I wonder if the mindset has changed so much and if the angles are so important to their aim being decent that Concordia St. Paul was simply not ready for Ascent to be a pick.
Boise State has, for multiple rounds, kind of gone up to take very close angles trying to catch Concordia St. Paul unawares, but I don't think there's been one time where it's worked out for them. At best, they've gotten, one pick to start things off, but it's quickly even backed up. So Concordia St. Paul seems to be very good at predicting the flanks for this stage.
Yeah, their sight control is just good. They've had a lot of practice on this map. Rariana to pin one of them. It's not quite enough, but it is enough. These guys to get the sight down. That's good, but look at the push that always comes after. Concordia has a very reactive pace sometimes. When you find a kill, they come barreling in after it. They want that, the reply. They want to catch a second after. Finding smokes. Boise State's got to get defensive. They have to be back foot about it. They give up sight control, and Akira going in for the plan.
Spike planted.
Synthetic takes out Rariana.
An orbital strike, a good way to try to clear things out. Does enough damage. Ooh, actually finds. Wow, what a roll! Boise State found one with the orbital strike, and the orbital strike milked another player out of position, and they caught him off guard. Then it was just a 3v2, and they were able to shut the other two down, and they come rolling in for an easy defuse. This guy's a little bit low on health, but it's enough. They're going to carry three guns into the next round.
It's a win, but it was a lot to spend for that win. Synthetic still, it was able to trade 2 for 1 in a lot of these scenarios. Ultimately was a good recognition of Boise State wanting to get as many rounds as they could, while Concordia St. Paul is in a position where I would think that they have favored themselves. They want to be on attack to start things out, run up that scoreboard. Things are still in a possibility for it to be tied at the end of the half. But now this next round is Boise State can't go here.
Concordia St. Paul high on the ults as well. If Boise State ever starts to make a kind of avalanche of points, Concordia St. Paul can have a big push and try to upset that. Sky's going to take a fast one with no reply.
I'm going to say this op choice by Boise State is, it's only been here for 2 rounds, but both those rounds Boise State has been reliably able to get the first pick.
They're definitely good with their op.
Oh, it's going to see the charge going through.
Yeah, that's enough information. All of Boise State is flooding straight over. A little bit of a backup here. Give them the space. Sky's playing a defensive position. Looking to take one, can't quite find it. Rariana though wants to fly a beautiful crossfire. Sky's coming in for a second chance. He does well. Tries to play the find one sneaking across, but it's not there. Synthetic does find Rariana. Now it's only a 4v2. They're all on site. Boise State's still playing very back foot. And Sweet Cheeks is going to punish that. Going around the back line, kind of distracting things. Drop the hat. Enemies revealed. He knows exactly where they're at. It's still 2 players on Concordia with Spike in hand. 30 seconds might be enough to make it around Dish, especially now knowing where Boise State is standing. And it's a nice slow walk looking for the A plant.
Sweet Cheeks is just trying to divert Boise State's attention for just long enough. Oh, that's a great win by Boise State. Now they're going to be heading up against Synthetic. It's a 3-1, but Synthetic is no doubt the top fragger for Concordia St. Paul, and Boise State could be caught unawares. They get him.
Tries to play an off angle, a coverless position at the bottom of a ramp. Scary, because if you try to play loose, if you try to play safe, and you go for a body shot, you hit the head. But if they're going for headshots, they're above. It's a little bit of, it's very off-angly to play with both the X and Y axis there, but it's not enough. And they find him on a 3-swing, just trying to get to the site. Absolutely shut down that push, bringing it to a 4v6. Now, momentum speaking, it's a little bit more comfortable. Boise State has taken, 2 or 3 of the last 3 or 4 rounds, as we can see. Yeah, 2 of the last 3 has been theirs. They're definitely moving up. They've gotten them by defuse.
Those are very dangerous weapons for plushies like that to be holding. One of them's holding a knife, another's holding a grenade. I have some questions.
It's a dual knife, and the grenade's got
Meanwhile, a huge charge up through E, and Boise State is going to be able to take out Jitty. Seems like Bronco's fortunes have completely reversed. Bring it back within one.
Doing it excellently here. It seems no longer like taking the first 1 or 2 shots is, you know, regardless. Boise State using those first 1 or 2 kills to be the catalyst. Good push. Now Sky's caught off guard. Synthetic in the smoke. They try to go melee. And with the shotgun, it doesn't work very well. Remember, a spray is going to be found as well. It doesn't look fantastic. 2v3, but one of them's knocked. If Daimyo can cover this position well enough, the spike will go off. He may lose his self, he may lose his gun, but it'll be up to 45. Standing in the fire for a little bit of an off shot. It's not going to be there. And attacker, sure enough, let the spike expire.
Last
and one even
round
escapes.
in the half.
Now to a 4-7. Last round in the half. A 5-7 wouldn't be awful, but it is the score that Boise State crossed the half with last turn and took the round, took the game after that. And I wouldn't call this an incredibly offensive map.
Boise State pretty even. The only advantage they're going to have is just having one less small shield than Concordia St. Paul.
But the difference between 1 and 0 is massive. They can't take this. Red's going to be hurting going out with it. That sinister, shocking fingers to find one with no damage back. Concordia now simply down a player. Keep trying to play aggressive. And they're just being shut down by these 3 players. One floating. Player 0. Concordia St. Paul Cypher.
Give me a corpse.
Mariana has the chance to use that neural theft, but is not quite, can't get quite close enough to use it that time. Sweet Cheeks has been taking the slow push to B, however. The team is going to be slowly moving over toward B as well. This is going to allow the opportunity, though. Boise State is going to be able to rip the neural theft. That's going to definitely help Daimyo to take out. He's going to just use the orbital strike, closing things off, and Boise State brings it to within 2, 7-5 for the first half.
That orbital strike has been critical for 2 different plays here.
Switching
Boise
sides.
State, we could say that 40% of their wins so far this game has come from that orbital strike. He is really, you know, regaining that orbital strike pretty quickly. 2 playing well here. Concordia now moving into the defense. We'll see how well they really know this map, or whether it's just offense comfortability. And also something we haven't talked a lot about is whether the picks as far as agents go are more offense or defense sided.
I mean, looking back and forth between the two, the only thing that's really different is the neon pick
Versus the Rays, yeah.
Stim beacon down.
Going to be using Stim to let Boise State charge right in toward tower. Guy's going to try to take it, gets a body shot. Gets hit himself down to 74. Swings around, however. That's a clean win for Kira trying to fight back. He is taken out. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
Important trade. You don't want Akira finding any more points. J-Back looking to get the spike down under cover. They have an in, though. It's not totally closed. J-Bag looking to make his way out, but man, he is entirely cornered, and he has no utility for it. If he could wait the 10 seconds, he'd have his E ability back online, but Sweet Cheeks has applied so much pressure. Now Alden
One
trying to
enemy
cover on
remaining.
the other side. A quick flash out. It's not even necessary. J-Bag goes crazy with the ghost. Finds another one. And Skies to close it up and anchor down with a frenzy, bringing in the first point. Boise State would love to find another one here, even if it means Concordia finding the next one, as they're coming much, much closer to the half here.
We essentially have a chance for Boise State to reset the round. They get 7 apiece. They will have the gun advantage for this round unless Concordia St. Paul decides to go for a more unorthodox second round purchase.
Yeah, the second round reach is getting more and more popular, especially in this NACE tournament. I've seen it more times than ever.
Oh, but Skies, that is one fat duelist. I mean, look at that. Already picks up a double moving through A main. Has sight all open and is not slowing down.
I've seen Skies hold down the WP with a rubber band on his team. It's so characteristic of him to pick Neon.
It's working out, and oh yeah, we were talking about there was a second round purchase from Concordia St. Paul. A rifle picked up, it looks
One
like.
enemy remaining.
That is just devastating.
Either a rifle or a Spectre, it looked like. Either way, it means Concordia St. Paul. Boise State could be going into a very comfortable bonus round. Oh, look at the wrong way, flawless.
A beautiful pinch. A wonderful pinch in the last couple seconds to get Rariana the 3K there, and Boise State taking a decisive 7th point against Concordia's 7th point. And yeah, that second round reach is punishable. I mean, just caught off guard by the high-paced Neon to find 2 and then back out. Excellent discipline and good timing found them the catalyst for that next round, and everybody held it together. Look at this, right in the face, knew when to turn around, checked one and didn't get greedy about it. What a wild take. 1 second now left on the buy round as we move straight in. Concordia damage on those creds. Boise State, nice little bonus here. Hopefully, Concordia put enough in to the last round as far as creds are.
I found my wire.
Boise State is still ahead with this bonus. It looks like it's Spectres all around. Payback getting a very early plant.
Cage trigger.
Oriana on the defense for the site as they're looking to set up camp, prevent Concordia from pushing in. Most of it's coming from the north.
Just have JBag waiting right here. Throws out some util. And look at Skies just charging and fearless. I mean, I'm surprised, you know. Hey, he's gonna 1-for-1 trade in the bonus round. It's not too bad.
Sweet Cheeks does take a free one on to the main man on the spike. It's not a great position now. Both people are moving back foot. They've got to really jump in and swarm the situation in order to stop this defuse. Dino. I think he's going to find some. All the fights to Rariana, another, and it's a shutdown. The attackers to find another one. Boise State is back to being ahead.
Oh,
and they out-timer the spike.
They just barely. That's your life flashing before your eyes right there.
Not even by range. I mean, it was in your cards. Where they avoid death. Final destination. That was a Final Destination movie right there.
That is true. Although, I hope it's not like Final Destination.
Where
the
they
fact
slowly hunted down for the rest of their game.
I just hope they've avoided it and that's it. There's no cycle here that they got to keep dodging.
Well, there'll be plenty of dodges left, I'm sure about that. Boise State with 2 on the ults. Again, that orbital strike not quite online. And he is going to be carrying the spike into victory here. And look at the spread position from both teams. We've got some funky things going on. Hopefully, ooh, a good one from Rariana holding well. It is going to be a 1-for-1, so we can't use the ultimate on that down. A shame as Kira finds his first blood of the season. Sorry, of the round.
Plant gonna go down pretty early. Boise State has it, can move into post plant. Look at their Brim also. That is less than 10 health he's hanging on by. Oldham. Oh, the satchel's not gonna throw him off. He takes out the Brim and picks up a 3-piece for himself. Clean win for the Broncos. Yet again, it's a 4-round win streak.
I know with the cherry on top, it's such a momentum that they have. They had a decent momentum moving into it. They were able to squash this second round reach coming from the other side, and then just played Spectre v Spectre in a good match, good clean match. And now they're back to playing dirty. Look at that 3K just fighting for his life tooth and nail to pull out an 8, to pull out a 19 point. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful thing to see. Look at the boys up there on desk. Bolt still in the pocket. Back at the wheel, playing very high pace. Find one paint shells galore to slow it down. Sky is just in 1 point away from the ult point. I'm surprised he's not going to the orbital because somebody else took it. Decides to turn the speed on anyways. Dropping the wall down. That fast lane. Onto the side, Mariana. Looking a corner when he finds it.
Last player standing.
So many kills to one side. Now Rariana, the last one might be fine, but they're just hunting him down. Sweet Cheeks. Could be the final fight right here.
Sees him through the camera.
And he's totally cornered. Jitty's forfeit there after a wild free-for-all on the main. Hey, main.
Boise State was able to ride the win streak for 4 rounds. A whole lot of time to save up credits, so this will no doubt be a full purchase this round, probably next round as well, and then we can start talking about ecos. Nice play by Concordia St. Paul.
That goes there.
Judy picking up a triple. Ultimately moving on to the quad.
Yes, this should do.
Roriana really anticipating a big push from Concordia. I mean, Concordia doesn't really deserve to be active. They could rotate straight through the middle. So he's right, though. Look at him. Coming around down. Oh! Ooh, they come off guard, but all down.
Collateral!
Absolutely posted up, finds 2 for free, and gets right out of there. A 2 for 1. Now that is the currency exchange that will count.
State is maybe hoping for a little bit better than a 2 for 1 conversion rate. They're going to be rotating it over towards A. It seems like something that Concordia St. Paul has called out themselves. So there really isn't going to be any surprise factor. This is a spike over. Sky's maybe thinking about popping this overdrive.
I'm out of here.
Spike down on A, and Boise State playing very back foot. They've fleed entirely. Only 1 or 2 people with sightlines on that spike, but Concordia giving it some time as well.